A national group of sleep experts is urging parents to get medical advice before giving melatonin or really any other supplement to their child. Here to explain why is Dr. Scott Hadland, Chief of Adolescent and Young Adult Medicine at Mass General for Children. Thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Dr. Hadland, melatonin's available over the counter as a, quote, safe and natural way to help anyone fall asleep. In your opinion, how well does it work for kids?
Well, I do have families and patients who benefit enormously from it, but I do want to exercise some caution. Melatonin is a natural hormone. It's secreted by the brain, and it helps people to fall asleep when it's secreted by the brain. And the idea behind this is that you take it as a supplement, and that is supposed to help you fall asleep. It's pretty good at helping some kids whose bodies might naturally fall asleep a little bit later to move up their bedtime and kind of reset their circadian rhythm. It's helpful in jet lag for that same reason. And for some kids, and in particular kids with autism, it can actually help them feel drowsy and fall asleep as well.
Okay, so this new safety advisory, it's from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Why are their doctors concerned?
Well, melatonin hasn't been as well studied as we would like. We don't know a lot about the long-term effects of being on melatonin, particularly when kids take it for long periods of time. And, certainly some kids will take it for months or even years, and we don't know quite what that might do to the body. The other thing is that ingestions are on the rise of melatonin. In fact, in 2021, we have some data suggesting that more than 50,000 phone calls to poison control centers involved melatonin ingestions in kids. And I think the last thing I would say is that melatonin is not regulated by the FDA like other medications are. It's considered a supplement, and because of that, there's lots of different manufacturers, and the dose of melatonin can vary enormously within a single package. And so even though the package might say 5 milligrams on it, there are a lot of data to suggest that actually the dose may be half that much or 4 times that much, and it's really not very tightly regulated.
Well, as you know, some kids do really struggle at bedtime. So what do you want parents to know about giving them melatonin? I mean, maybe it's recommended by their pediatrician.
Yeah, I would handle melatonin just like you would any other medication. And what that means is really 3 things. First of all, I think if you're thinking about starting melatonin, talk to your doctor. Your doctor may have some behavioral strategies that they would recommend first that could be really helpful and you may not have tried yet. And doctors can also help you to make sure that you're taking the right dose and that your child is taking it at the right time and in the right way to help support their sleep. The other thing I would say is that medications and melatonin, again, we should consider like a medication, should really be locked up so that younger kids can't get into it and have an accidental ingestion. And then the third thing I would say is you really want to know the source of your medication. And so when it comes to regularly prescribed medications, you can trust the source because it comes from a pharmacy and it's dispensed by a pharmacist. When it comes to melatonin, because it's over the counter and because it's not regulated by the FDA, there isn't as much regulation, and I worry about some of these doses being inaccurate. What parents can do is there has been an attempt to try to regulate these melatonin doses, and they can look for something on the side of the bottle that says that the melatonin is USP certified or USP verified. And those are felt to be bottles of melatonin that have gone through more strict quality control.
All right, Dr. Scott Hadland with MGH, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. To our viewers, if you have questions that you'd like our experts to answer, just email them to ask@wcvb.com.
All right.